Today on Crypto Channel Direct, DeFi Godfather quits, Europe won't ban proof-of-work coins, and Apple co-founder calls Bitcoin solid gold mathematics. We also have Victoria Gago on the show today to speak about Europe as a potential hub of blockchain development following regulation changes. I'm Claire Ross-Brown and welcome to CCD, where I'll be bringing you the news you need to know, powered by Concordium. The DeFi bubble looks like it could be coming to an end as the total value locked has fallen. Now, at its peak in December 2021, it was at $102 billion, but it's now at $73 billion in the first week in March, a decline of 28% in less than 90 days. And now, to add insult to injury, the so-called Godfather of DeFi, Cronje, has also left the DeFi space. And in a tweet, Cronje's longtime colleague at the Phantom Foundation, Antonell, stated that both he and Cronje are leaving the crypto space entirely. Concerns quickly arose about the fate of 25 DeFi services that architect advisor and Yearn Finance founder Cronje was seemingly abandoning. While the DeFi market may seem down and now perhaps in a state of shock, it's certainly not out, and instead a shift seems to be happening from a retail to an institutional one. Over the past couple of months, institutional investors have returned to accumulate Grayscale Bitcoin Trust shares as the discount to spot rise has risen to nearly 30%. Since December 2021, some weekly sessions witnessed investors pouring in up to $120 million into the fund. The biggest capital inflow occurred in the last week in February. And additionally, popular crypto exchange FTX announced its expansion to Europe after receiving approval from the Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission. The new venture called FTX Europe would offer leading products to clients across the continent. Now, this not only enables FTX to offer its derivative crypto products to institutions, but also it's especially noteworthy as last year Binance closed its crypto derivatives offerings across Europe. Even further evidence was announced just this week. Bain Capital Ventures, one of the world's largest startup investment firms with $5 billion in assets under management, announced the formation of a new fund that will focus on crypto-related investments. Bain Capital has previously backed companies such as BlockFi, Compound, and Digital Currency Group. The most recent $560 million fund is the first of its kind from Bain Capital, focusing solely on the crypto market. With the decentralized finance space seemingly headed towards an institutional sector, what will be the future of retail investors in crypto? Let us know in the comments below. The European Parliament's Economic Committee is scheduled to vote on MiCA next week after a delay due to wording around the ban of proof-of-work cryptos. MiCA is the Markets in Crypto Assets Regulation, which is intended to complement anti-money laundering laws in Europe. It's seen as lawmakers recognizing the need for regulation in a space that is here to stay. However, the bill was pulled from consideration in February so that there could be a rework on some language. Some thought a section calling for proof-of-work blockchains such as Bitcoin to meet minimum environmental sustainability standards sounded like the coin could be banned. The lawmakers suggested the section could be misinterpreted and understood as a proof-of-work ban. Ultimately, the entire passage was deleted, but concerns remain about the environmental impact of Bitcoin. MiCA remains a rather stern and rigorous bill on crypto in Europe. However, according to its authors, the goal is ensuring that the EU's financial services regulatory framework is innovation-friendly and doesn't pose obstacles to the application of new technologies. Global crypto regulation continues to march forward, and generally most nations are embracing the promotion of innovation while limiting illicit use cases. Do you think that Europe is on the right track with MiCA and other major bills on crypto? Let us know in the comments below. Now let's turn to an expert in the space, Victoria Gago, the co-founder at the European Blockchain Convention, to ask how friendly the EU is to crypto. Hi, Victoria, and welcome. And thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Claire. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, that's great. Victoria, I'm dying to sort of ask you, because we've just been discussing how lawmakers are constantly working on regulations like MiCA so that they can promote innovation and still maintain control in crypto. But what I want to ask you is, what are your thoughts on how Europe is handling crypto regulations?
Yeah, I think that's a very, very good question and relevant. Obviously, I'm going to be a bit biased. I'm both from the European Union and I'm based in the European Union. Well, I'm actually from Copenhagen, but based in Barcelona now. But I think the evolution has been quite interesting to follow. So back in September 2020, the European Union introduced a draft regulation of their MiCA, so marketing crypto assets regulation. And then since then, so September 2020, the whole ecosystem, so everything from law firms to crypto native companies to fintech providers and so on, have been, commenting on the draft regulation and introducing, well, their ideas and how to improve it. At the end of the day, obviously, I guess we're all interested in promoting innovation in the crypto space in Europe and not preventing innovation. So I think the evolution has been interesting. Also, on Monday, actually next week, the European Parliament is going to vote on the final version of this draft regulation. So that's also quite exciting because hopefully later this year, we will have a regulation introduced in the European Union. So I think that's quite interesting. And when it comes to, thinking of, okay, are we actually going to promote regulation or are we going to prevent regulation? I do believe that if we have a regulation for all 27 member states in the European Union, it's much better than having one regulation to follow in each country, or even in some cases that there is no regulation, so it's quite complex as a crypto company to figure out what to do. So I see it as a positive step, and obviously, I mean, we need to see what's going to happen next week. Nothing is sure yet, but I do see a positive evolution.
Yeah, so basically you do consider Europe a good place to set up shop as a blockchain or crypto business, but do you think it strikes the right balance between control and innovation?
Well, I do believe that both, I mean, we need to have like some legal certainty. So maybe more than control, it's kind of like knowing, okay, what are we allowed to do? What kind of protection do you have as investor or as a user? So more than using the word control, I would call it like legal certainty. And I do see it as a positive step to bring more crypto native companies to Europe. Actually, I mean, if we look back in our history in Europe, I think we lost a bit when it comes to AI and the whole cloud space. And I do really believe that when it comes to crypto, we will be one of the main hubs in the world. And again, with a regulation that's gonna involve 27 states, it's gonna help a lot of business to figure out what to do and what not to do, and even maybe to remove some dodgy players that are not really following anything. So I think it's interesting and positive.
Yeah, definitely. So with that in mind, what would you personally like to see happen in Europe to make it the hub of future blockchain and crypto development?
So indeed, that MiCA is introduced and that it's as as much as possible promoting innovation. But then also, I think what's very important is that we continue developing the whole education space when it comes to blockchain and crypto. Actually, when it comes to education, we from the European Blockchain Convention launched last year European Tech School. So it's our own blockchain crypto school where we are educating people, either that are new to the space, who wants to get into the space, or are already in blockchain and crypto and needs to understand better the whole space. So, I mean, education, and we just one player out of so many schools, both traditional universities, new all types of like schools out there, and even like a lot of companies are providing their own education. So we should continue with that. And then I also think another very important aspect is money. So we need more money in the space. We need more investments because obviously education will help more players understand the potential and how we can apply blockchain and crypto. But then once we understand that, we need money to hire people. I mean the whole space, to hire talent. We need money to develop new products and services. We need money to hire the right lawyers, right? To be able to follow the correct regulation. MiCA once it is introduced. So I do see that a lot of VCs that like beforehand were not were not investing in blockchain and crypto are getting into the space. And I think 2021 was really a year where a lot of new VCs, but like old VCs getting into blockchain and crypto because they could see the potential. So I mean, I hope that much more money will be invested into the space, and this way we can continue developing the whole crypto ecosystem in Europe.
Exactly. No, definitely. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today, Victoria. Pleasure.
Thanks to you, Claire, and the whole team.
Thank you. So if you're enjoying today's show, be sure to drop us a like and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all the news that you need to know. Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak has always been a big fan of Bitcoin. Recently, he also discussed his thoughts on other cryptos, as well as the hyped-up NFT space. During a recent interview with Business Insider, Wozniak said Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency that's pure gold mathematics, praising the underlying technology and calculations of the original blockchain. Bitcoin remains the gold standard even today, but there's no denying the flood of other aspects of this flexible technology. Wozniak remarked during the interview that there could be many rip-offs among the thousands of new crypto projects and NFTs out there, and he highlighted the people running them may be rather shady. He said, there's so many cryptocurrencies that come out now. Everybody has a way to create a new one, and you have a celebrity star with it. It seems like they're just collecting a bunch of money from people who want to invest at the very earliest stage when it's worth pennies. Now, this isn't the first time the Apple co-founder has sung the mathematical praises of Bitcoin. During an October interview with Yahoo News, he commented about the cryptocurrency's mathematical purity. Bitcoin isn't run by some company, Wozniak said. It's just mathematically pure, and I believe nature over humans always. Thank you for joining us on Crypto Channel Direct, powered by Concordium. Don't forget to like and subscribe by hitting the button below, and we'll be back next week with the news that you need to know. And until then, I'm Claire Ross Brown. See you next time.